Let's talk about dismissing dismissive leads.
This is your first day in real estate, and I am your real estate sales trainer and coach, James Festini. And this is the program that's going to teach you how to sell more real estate in less time.
I'm mad this morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so mad. I get so mad. I get mad. My last video was about being frustrated and burnout. This is a frustration. One of my biggest frustrations is when one of my leads list, and it's all my fault. I've done this video before. It was called Dismissing Dismissive Leads, but I need to have a conversation with myself again in the mirror on camera and let you listen into my lecturing myself and give myself a hard time. But first of all, if you're new to this channel, I'm James Festini, Southern California real estate agent. For almost 30 years, I've been doing one thing, selling residential real estate, making six figures all the time by doing one thing, lead generation and follow-up and everything else in between. If you want to know more or be part of my membership or do my one-on-one, all the information is below. Please join my content so you get alerted and notified anytime I have something new. Hit the subscribe button down below and the little bell will say, hey, James is live. James posted a new video. That's what that little bell means. So please subscribe. And if you think you know someone who might need this content, don't worry about sharing such powerful content and having your competition know about this stuff. They ain't going to use it anyhow. Don't worry about it. Share it. Let's see what happens. So this morning I'm fuming. I had a lead for many years. This isn't my previous territory. Some of you know I moved from one region to another and relocated and started my business over. But I'm just close enough to this old territory where I can still maintain. And I get probably about 20 transactions a year from that old territory, just being James Festini for 10 years in that region or 12 years. So this was a lead that I had generated probably from cold calling 6, 7, 8 years ago before I moved. And I did a listing presentation, but it turned out that they had a lien on the house, their brother, something to do with a lawsuit or something. It was a long drawn out thing. So every time I would follow up with them, they would always make it sound like, no, not yet, James, not yet. You know, it could take forever. It might take forever. We love you. You're doing great. Keep in touch. We'll definitely be using you. I was sending them. I had them on my automated CMA program. I had them on my automated newsletter. They were getting everything from me, right? They weren't getting physical 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper with a mailed to their mail with an envelope. That was the one thing I wasn't doing was physical mailers. Maybe that would have saved the day. But they listed on my birthday like 2 months ago. And how did I find out? You see, I'm not really doing much lead follow-up. There's a problem. Giving myself a good excuse not to do my job because it's in my previous territory. Why would I work so hard to get it? Because it's money, you D-bag. Oh, you're so stupid. I don't believe I'm even teaching this stuff. I should just stop the video right now and stop teaching it because I walk the walk and I talk the talk and I'm still screwing it up. All right, you're forgiven, but it's not forgotten. So what happens? I'm sending them information along the way. I communicate with them every 30 days after the presentation. Then I was like, no, you know what? Nothing's happening. I'm beginning to dismiss them. They're beginning to make it seem like it's never going to happen. So I'm avoiding the potential. I'm avoiding the situation, right? I'm avoiding it because I know it may never happen. And then I start pushing it 90 days into the future. But what happens when you push a contact 90 days into the future with your follow-up, right? What happens if you don't reach them in 90 days? They get shoved to the bottom of the pile. And when you prioritize them inside of Mojo as a low priority because nothing's happening, but they still have a call date, sometimes when you power through your list, they don't answer. And then you don't answer again. And then they just don't answer. Or maybe these people never got flagged. Maybe something, whatever happened, they fell through the cracks because I got too many leads and I don't do enough follow-up. Guilty, confession, there. Send me to follow-up prison. Fulsome follow-up. So what happened? All of a sudden this morning, I get an alert saying they've unsubscribed from my newsletter. I'm like, oh, that's strange. Well, it wasn't me. It was my wife. She checks that stuff all the time. I think she does it in the morning just to see how many failures I have because she knows it fires me up for the day. Failure fires me up. Does it fire you up when like you fail? Does it piss you off to say, screw it, everyone's getting a call back, give me all my contacts, you're getting a call today, I don't care if I talked to you yesterday, I want to call you again today and make sure that you didn't change your mind when you fell asleep last night. That's how pissed I am. So I go in, we look, and all of a sudden it's there. And we pop onto the MLS, and I look at the MLS. I go, no, they're a corner lot from my recollection. It's been like 5 years, 6 years since I've been there, right? But I've communicated. I know their last name. I even know their email address by heart and their address. I go, no, that's not them. We log back into Mojo, and I look at the address and match it to the MLS. They listed a month ago their closing escrow, like now. Here's the thing. The agent they listed with, I've seen the name before. It wasn't a top agent, but I've seen the name before. So clearly, I'm not going to, I have these set excuses where I feel for myself where, I lost it to that individual. They are a hustler, so it's okay. What gets me even more pissed off is when, like, you see no name that you never seen before. Then you just completely blew it and you didn't do anything. Like, they stumbled onto an agent. But you never, ever, ever, here's a pro tip, never, ever think that your lead is your lead. Never think that the individual you're speaking to in your database has a little bubble, a protective shield around it, that there's no other agent calling them. I guarantee you every lead in your database has a minimum of 3 real estate agents who have them in their database, especially if you acquired them from telemarketing, because there's got to be at least one person in your city who's cold calling. Probably not. Who knows? So anyhow, I see it's listed. I'm like, what happened? What the hell? And I got mad. And so my wife looks at me and she goes, why aren't you doing your follow-up? I'm like, and so I started making these excuses. Why didn't I do my follow-up? I do my follow-up. I'm committing an entire day a week just to say, you know what? My database is so large. I got about 550 leads in there right now. And, they're all peppered throughout the time. But right now, today, I need to speak to about 300 of them. 300 people who just never answer the phone, and maybe 20 of them who will pick up today. But because I lead generate, I'll pick up 2 or 3 new leads a day. So every week, I'm picking up 20 new leads and then kicking them up. So it's this constant, like, I'm never quite, it's like, how do you eat an elephant one bite at a time? But what happens when the elephant has a baby and you're trying to eat that elephant, and that baby's getting bigger, and you're like, man, I got so many elephants. I'm not going to eat 10 elephants one bite at a time. It's just never going to happen. You got to keep doing it. You got to keep doing it. I want to put this analogy forward because I do speak in analogies. Let's pretend you're a dentist. And you have this patient. A patient comes into your office and says, I need a cleaning, right? Ooh, a lead. You make a file, you put them in there, and you're cleaning, you do the x-rays, right? You're the dentist, you're cleaning, you do the x-rays, and guess what? You see cavity. You're like, hey, by the way, there's a cavity here. Very small cavity. It's not a problem today. Obviously, it doesn't hurt them because they didn't come in for the cavity. They just came in for cleaning. But there's a cavity. What do you tell the client? Hey, you got a cavity. You should get that filled. You should get that fixed. The client, most of us, when we get a cavity, we're like, I don't feel it. I'll be back. Especially if we have insurance. We're like, slow down there. I don't know how much cavity is to get filled. I haven't had one in like 20 years. But if you don't have insurance, you're like, I'll put that till later, till it hurts, right? Many of us have cavities. How many of you guys have a cavity right now that you know you have, but it doesn't hurt? So you put it on the back. We are the dentist. The real estate agent is the dentist. Every lead we get has a cavity. They have a cavity. If they didn't, they're coming in for a cleaning and you're out. A clean mouth is your cold database. That means that's it. It's the whole city. When you're the dentist in the city, everybody's your client. If they want to come in for a cleaning, I'm open. First cleaning, 50% off, whatever, right? You lure them in to come in to create them. A dentist doesn't make money off the cleanings. They make money off root canals, the surgeries, all that stuff, right? So they want to acquire you and maintain you because they know if they're a proper dentist, they're going to have their telemarketer go in there and close on them and say, hey, you need to come in for a cleaning, because they want you to come in for a cleaning to find a cavity, to find something wrong. So you call them up and you're like, hey, how's that cavity? I'm feeling fine. I'm good. I know I should come in for a cleaning, but the market's hot. I know I should be selling right now, but the elections, the COVID, whatever excuse they have, they're not ready to come in and get that cavity filled. And then what happens? You're like, I've got so many clients now. I've got so many people that now I'm filling cavities. Now I'm doing root canals. I'm very busy with these root canals. Like, people are coming to me now with a pain in their mouth. So why would I go back and call these people who all I do is waste my time? My assistant's now busy. I'm wasting time trying to set these appointments for these penny cleanings when we've got these people who are with pain, right? They need a root canal. So what we do as telemarketers slash agents is we're picking up the phone and we're cold calling, looking for people who have a pain right now. We're calling people every day saying, how do you have any pain? Because that's what we do. We're problem solvers, problem solving situation that requires pain, and we solve their problem. Pain. The dentist solves pain. They have a problem. My mouth hurts. The only person who can fix it. I have a problem. I got to move next month. Who can find? So we're looking for people with a massive inflammation and like super yuck mouth, where it's like the big deal that we land. But we look for it because we have all of these leads that have these cavities, but we're like, God, they just won't come in. AKA, they won't pick up the phone. They won't answer. I'm sending them email. I'm sending them text. I send them a CMA. I dropped off a slam. I'm sending them letters, right? I've knocked on the door. They're just non-responsive. And we know it's a small cavity. Like, I know they're going to come to me because I'm the dentist. But what they don't realize is what you don't realize is that there's another dentist in town. There's like every town has a couple dentists. And maybe that dentist is putting an ad in that paper and you're putting an ad on the internet and your client happens to be in the paper that day and they're sitting there eating breakfast and they bite down on something like, holy crap, who do I call? I got my dentist, but this one's running an ad for 20% off. Just call them. I don't know. My dentist, I didn't know if he's doing 20%. Who cares? It's all the same. I don't have insurance. 20% off. Good for me. So you go, and boom, you get the business. And then as a dentist, you kind of dismiss it, right? You're just, I'm done. When they come in, you just lose them, right? They come and go because you've seen that wall on a dentist's office or that drawer where they just got all their leads sitting there. They don't really follow up unless they're proper dentists, then they will be following up. But when was the last time your dentist cold called you and said, hey, I've got a good dentist. So I get a letter during Christmas, and he had me on a drip campaign. Maybe he's cut back because I haven't seen those letters lately. But he had me on a mailing campaign that said, hey, it's been 6 months since your last cleaning. So he puts people on and that's a proper thing because my wife will be like, oh, it's been 6 months. So she'll follow up the schedule. I don't do it, right? But she follows up, takes the kids in. Well, what am I getting at with this dentist analogy? They have a cavity. If ever, the cavity does not go away. Cavities do not go away. The feeling that they want to sell, that reluctant hesitation in there, not right now, not really. Yeah, we are thinking about it, but now we changed our mind. Yeah, I know I have a cavity, but it doesn't hurt. We dismiss that because we're looking for someone who has an urgent now need because we want to do a root canal. We want the money now. We're looking for someone we triage, right? Like in the ER. The ER, they have this terminology, or emergency room, where like the person who's bleeding to death gets taken care of long before the person with a broken leg who's crying, right? This guy's going to die. You're not going to die from a broken leg. It hurts. Back of the line, right? And then the person with like a sneeze, like, you're going to be there for hours. We got blood everywhere. Does this make sense? So dismissing dismissive leads, ignoring invisible maybes, right? The people who don't show up because you're trying and they don't answer. Therefore, they're not a lead, right? They're not a lead anymore because they're not answering the phone. That's your reasoning behind why you're not following up with them, because they're not responsive. I blame myself 100% for this loss, me 100%, because when I looked at the calendar, I hadn't talked to him in probably well over 12 months. Whatever happened, happened. It shouldn't have happened. My situation is a little bit different because I am dismissing that previous territory because I really want the business over here. It's twice the price. I'm going to focus more on here, but I'm dismissing cavities in a previous town that all I have to do is drive over there. So it's 30 minutes, 30 minutes in one direction versus 15 minutes in one direction. So it's an hour drive versus a half an hour drive. What? I just don't. And that right there, that sale, that's a $10,000 payday. What's the matter with you? You can still drive somewhere, and then we're not dentists. They don't have to come to us. We can go to them. Please stop being a terrible dentist. Stop putting yourself in a situation where you convince yourself there's a good reason not to call them again. Don't dismiss dismissive leads again, my friends. If they ever have a cavity, no matter big or small, you have to follow up. Never, ever not bring them in for a cleaning, for anything, but 3 months. Never push someone for more than 6 months. I don't care if they say, I'm not selling for 2 years. If they say, I'm not selling, I've lost at least 3 or 4 this year, who said, James, I love you, but I'm not selling for 3 years. And then there's a sign in the front yard 3 weeks later. I'm like, what the F happened? Well, I bit into something and it hurt. And you weren't there right there. And then I bit into something and I was at lunch with a friend who happens to have a husband who's a realtor. And we just got to talking about it. My friend's a dentist. Your leads are not. Your leads are my leads, are their leads, everybody's leads. God forbid they click on a website. They've got 10 real estate agents who are on them. And there are agents who are far more effective at follow-up because they don't have any leads. That's the worst part, right? You have a lot of leads, so you suck at follow-up. But there's agents out there who like go to bed at night, like your 100 leads, and they got 10. They go to bed at night and think about their 10 leads, and they know them by name and they know them by heart because that's the only thing they got. They don't prospect them. They don't lead generate through marketing. So for them, they're far more interested and they're far more capable and they're putting a little more interest in it and they're manicuring it better, right? They have a garden that's only 100 square yards, maybe, right? A 1,000 square foot garden is a lot easier to maintain than an acre. We work with acreage, so we're very, very, very focused on like maintaining and farming a larger piece of land. But if you figure out how to visit your farmland, how to sweep through your database, you just can't not. Like you have to every morning and every night revisit your leads. Make sure you've got them marked as hot, make sure you've got them marked as cold, and then visually look through them once a week and say, where is this? Don't ever, ever, ever acknowledge somebody has a cavity without bringing them in for a cleaning or at least calling them, right? Bringing them for a cleaning is calling them, speaking to them, right? We don't physically need to go to their house, but bringing them for a cleaning is calling them and speaking to them. That is the equivalent. Call them. How's it going? How's the cavity? All right. Is it bigger? Is it smaller? Are you ready to go? Is he feeling any pain? Well, yeah, you know what? I'm starting to feel a little bit. Uh-oh. Did they just say they felt something when they bit on something? You can't be like, okay, well, call me when it erupts and like it's agonizing pain. That's bad. That just went from warm to hot lead. You need to be sleeping on their lawn every morning. Wake up and say, hey, here's a toothbrush, brush your teeth, floss in between meals, right? And be like, I'm here for you. Here's a free toothbrush. Here's a free toothbrush. Have you seen this article on? I'm doing this whole dentist analogy, but it's very similar because we have a large database. And as a dentist, they're professionals. They have people coming in. And you think because you're a real estate agent, you're a professional and you can have this database and people are coming in. Wrong answer. Doesn't work that way in real estate. They will forget you. Everybody knows at least 5 real estate agents. I guarantee you, ask anybody and say, close your eyes and tell me the name of 3 real estate agents. Easy. Like they probably could walk over to their fridge. Even your mom or your sister can walk over to the fridge and go, this person, this person, this person. Like, how do you know that? Well, there are magnets on my fridge. Like, is my magnet on there? No. Buy a magnet, people. Come on, get it together. You've got to step this up. And I'm fuming because it's me. I've had this lecture with myself. I'm talking to you, but I'm seeing me. This is me talking to me. James, it's go time. Follow up effectively. Stop dismissing dismissive leads. We talk about this all the time. Just because they dismiss you, they push you into the future, does not mean that cavity is gone. Be a great dentist. Be a great marketer. Be a great professional and get back to work.
People ask me all the time, where do I get my data? How do I have so many good numbers without spending an arm and a leg? Because I recommend you get it from 3 places, and I merge them to create the ultimate white pages. 2 of them are Cole Realty Resources and TelephoneList.biz. They will provide you names, addresses, phone numbers, along with email addresses scrubbed against the do not call list, available for both US and Canada. Now, have you seen my amazing local market videos for my real estate business? In one word, Terradatum. They make videos branded to your brokerage and automatically update them every month with videos by zip code, county, city, and your hyper-local market, and it's extremely affordable. Have you guys seen my website lately? Well, you should. It's absolutely gorgeous. I owe it all to ZenTap. They will help you with your advertising using your MLS, IDX, and social media to attract an audience and engage your leads using sophisticated bots. Now, you're gonna need a powerful CRM to manage all of this, and as you know, Mojo Selling Solutions is more than just a dialer. It's the most powerful CRM bar none. Mojo provides you expireds for sell by owners, and that is the third list of data, along with email and mail campaigns. For more information on any of these products, along with my personal coaching and training products, go to jamesfestini.com today. Or just show financial support at any amount on patreon.com/James Festini. Now, get back to work.